Hey guys, so I've got a little something for you. So this episode of Gellen's Guys is brought to you by Manscaped. So Manscaped is the best in grooming products. They sell a wide range of grooming products. So you can use our promo code GISPOD to get 20% off anything that you buy from Manscaped. So I know in the past we've talked about how, at times it can be difficult to get really, nice, interesting gifts for the men in our lives. And sometimes the men complain that, we get them the same kind of stuff, right? So actually you can go on Manscaped and, be inspired to get something different. So I'm just going to show you. So if you're watching, you'll see. If you're listening, you'll just have to imagine it, right? So here they sent us this performance package, which has some hygiene products, right, that you can buy. So there's boxer short, and then there's what they call the lawnmower. You can imagine what that does. And there is a crop reviver, which is like a spray that so it's a crop reviver refreshing ball toner. So yeah. And then there is a deodorant that you spray below the waist, because we know some people need that, and toiletry, and they actually have a weed whacker. I'll be honest, I've actually tried this. It's really good. You can use that for your nose hairs or for your ear hair, right? So you can hear the sound. So that's manscaped.com, and you can use the promo code GISPOD to get 20% off. So yeah, let's get to the pod.
I am so excited, guys. So welcome to Gellen's Guys podcast with me, Natasha. I don't even have the words. The English is losing me. But I am joined by someone that I am a big fan of. So I am fangirling, like proper. A girl from Skies who is doing amazing things. Media personality. You can catch her on the Wendy Show. Yes, the Wendy Williams Show, not Wendy Ndlovu, Wendy Ndlovu, the Wendy Show, the Today Show, Nick Cannon Show, Amazon Live, and much, much more. We're joined by Makho Ndlovu on this episode of Gellen's Guys. Makho, welcome. How are you?
Oh, Nat, what an intro. Thank you, my sister. I'm doing so good. I'm so excited that we were finally able to make this happen. Thank you so much for having me on.
No, thank you so much. It's taken a while, and you know what? I am so humbled that you've given us the time, because Makho is she's out here in this Hollywood street and everything. So I don't take it for granted whatsoever. So before we get into it, right? I just introduced you. Is there anything that I've left out?
No, I think that was perfect. That is, and it's funny because as you're saying it, I'm like, who is she talking about? Who is that? It still, no lie, feels so surreal. It still feels crazy that I used to dream of days like this and moments like this, and that it's actually happening. I'm just incredibly blessed.
Yeah, no, and we are incredibly blessed that you're flying our flag. We'll get into it. So, but I just thought, we're hot off the press. We've just started with some hot topics. I'm channeling the Queen, Wendy Williams. How you doing? Hot topics. How you doing? Hot topics. Grammys. Did you watch the Grammys?
I did, but I had to wake up at 4 a.m. for the Today Show, so I only watched the first hour. I thought the Grammys were great. I thought Trevor Noah was phenomenal. And myself and I just want to be Steve's with, right? Like, I want to be Trevor Noah's best friend and be sitting up at the Grammys and getting that front and center shot. Did you see him there?
I saw, because you tweeted it, right? And you're like, is that Caesar in the black? Because I saw the clips when I woke up because of the time difference. So when you're like, is that Caesar? I was like zooming in. I was like, oh yeah. And did you catch the joke?
No, I didn't. What did he say?
So he was like, when he was going to see BTS, the Korean, the big group, right?
Yeah,
and then he was like, oh, backstage, they said to me, they taught me something in Korean. They said, "Mushun," and Caesar was like behind him, but it's basically like "Msun," I think, But I think he purposely, because he was walking and then he stopped like in front of Caesar, and then he said, I think it was like a wink to South Africa. I was like, yes.
Oh, I missed that. Oh, but that's so good. Good. I mean, I'm so proud of Trevor Noah's journey. Like, remember when he used to do like YFM, the third shift? I didn't know who he was. To see where he is now, like, wow, major.
Listen, I remember going to his shows in London when he would be at a small bar, you know, and there'll be like, what, 40 of us? And I'll be like, oh, this guy. So I am so proud of him. And then it was a big night for Southern Africa with Doja Cat, Bandile.
Yes, Lamini.
Yes.
Listen, they done messed up my name too, child. So I know what that's like. Doja's like, does the award come? Do I get my Grammy? That's all I care about.
Wait, when she won the award, did they say Zandile? Or do they
when they were saying the songwriters, remember when they would, I think it was like Song of the Year, Record of the Year, they would name everyone who was involved in the project. And listen, Zandile, it's maybe not that hard. Maybe they just didn't have someone to help them out. But Lamini, I know could be a little tricky, but that's where Trevor comes in. He should have been like, no. Listen, Sister MC, like, this is how you say her name. But I'm excited for Black Coffee. He won his very first Grammy, which to me seems crazy because you would think Black Coffee's been in the game for such a long time that like he would have been on Grammy number 3 or number 4. But I'm excited that he got his first one.
Yeah, no, I was so happy, and I was just so happy, like, for the whole Southern Africa. I'm sure we've missed some. Oh, and Angelique Kojo, I want to say she won.
Yeah, Kijo, I don't know.
Yeah. Apologies, Queen.
Please. Yes, all respect.
So that was great. Okay, so that was Grammy night. Oscar, I have.
Oh boy.
I have to ask.
Oh, girl. That was a hot mess. Okay, so I watched the first hour, just like I did with the Grammys, went up to sleep because I had Wendy the next day. So now my commute is like almost 2 hours. We're going to talk about that in a second. But now I pretty much have to be in bed by like 9 or 9:30 just to be functional in the morning. So I go to sleep, I'm in bed, and my husband is downstairs, and he's like, oh my God, you need to come downstairs and see this. I'm like, what just happened? He's like, I don't know if it's a skit, but Will Smith just walked up and slapped Chris Rock. I like, what's going on? And of course, Twitter filled me in immediately. And I could not believe it. Now I stayed up. I was supposed to go to sleep at 9:30. I stayed up until 12 o'clock. I was tired the next day, but I just could not stop watching that clip over and over again. I'm in shock like everybody else. Like, how could he? Yeah. What did you think?
Listen, I woke up and I thought it was a skit. Right? I was like, it has to be. And then I said, no, Will Smith in West Philadelphia. I said, no. What? And you know,
he got in one little fight.
And the thing is, I love Chris Rock. I am a big Chris Rock fan. Probably much more than I am a Will Smith fan, but I appreciate like Will and Jada. Do you know what I mean? Like the celebrity,
the power couple, Black love, Black excellence, all of that.
Exactly. So I saw that and I was like, oh my! Like, I don't want to lie. I'm one of those people. Like I literally, all my favorite YouTubers are like, I want to hear what you have to say. All my podcasts, I'm like, I want to hear. I was shocked. I think it's, to me, it looks like there was more going on. I think was the thing that broke, that was just like it for Will, because Regina Hall did sort of make,
she cracked a joke
about their relationship and stuff, and I just think like Chris just cut like such a sorry figure, like just even physically he's not doesn't look as physically strong as Will, right? So to me, I kind of felt like Will was like, I can get you. And
this one.
Exactly. And like a week or two before, like Laverne Cox cracked the joke about the entanglement. And they're like, no. And Gayle King asked about and said, oh, you said you had infidelity in your marriage, and he was like,
it was never infidelity.
Never. So I feel like it was the build up of everything, but I wish them well. I've seen some of the stuff that, he's resigned from the academy, and a lot of things are being put on hold. It's hard to say what's proportionate, right?
Yeah, it is 100%. But I will say that watching that footage over and over again, it's still jarring. Like I'm watching it again. Like Chris Rock practiced or showed so much restraint that I'm like, how did he able to stay composed and not bite back and not punch back and not fight back? I was listening to Steve Harvey a few days ago, and Steve was like, listen, the stage would have been rocking, okay? They would have to cut the 3 or 4 commercials. It would have went down. I think the initial shock of, and first of all, it wasn't even a punch. It was like a slap, like Imbama, just like, you don't even respect me enough to form a fist. You come here and punch me like I'm just some child. Like, oh my God. And I just don't know why Will would risk it on such a big night. We all, even if you're not such a huge fan, we all love Will Smith, and he's built up just this big career being this happy, positive, loving guy. And the culmination of where all your hard work comes together, where you're gonna get the dang on Oscar, everybody knows he was gonna get it. You do, and the soccer fans will help me here. A own goal. Like, you shot yourself in the foot. Why would he do that? I'm just like, what is going on with Will that would cause him to react like that? But even more, Jada's reaction was interesting to me. Now, Jada is the victim in all this. I'm not blaming her. But if my husband would act a plumb fool, when he's walking back to his seat, I'm looking at him like, if you don't sit your ass down, we are leaving. What is wrong with you? Jada was just sitting there like, she's not responsible for Will. But I think in a relationship, you have to be able to check your partner, even in the heat of the moment, and be like, hey, you're tripping. Hey, let's calm down. Or even shoot them a look and be like, what's going on? And so it made me see that maybe this idea and this image that we have of them, it might not be who they really say they are.
Yeah, no, I think so. And I think it's I blame August. So basically the person we need to speak to is Angela Yee, because Angela Yee is the one who sat down with August and he just started talking and it unraveled from there.
Yeah. Yes, you are so right. Because August has been so quiet in this whole situation. I'd love to hear what August has to say. What does August think about this? Maybe that slap was really for August and it wasn't for Chris.
Listen, that's what I said. I said that slap is for August. That slap is for the red table talk. That slap is for basically, do you see the letter that Willow wrote years ago? It was like,
is that real? I don't believe that. The letter to Tupac, I think you tweeted it. It came across my timeline. I was like, I don't think that's real. I don't know. We need to do more investigation on that.
Listen, as Charlemagne says, the lies were entertaining. Yeah, okay.
Lies entertaining.
So that's Will Smith. No, I wish them well. If anyone is listening, if anyone wants to take me to a Chris Rock show, because the ticket prices have
Yeah.
So
yeah.
If anyone wants to take me to a show,
put it out there. Some bachelor, somebody.
Yes,
date night situation.
Happen. Okay, I have to ask, have you been watching Young, Famous and African on Netflix?
I have.
Yes, let us get into it. What did you think?
Gowns, beautiful gowns. Okay, I love seeing young African people, not even just young. I love seeing my people on screen. It's the reason why my TV right now is set to Africa Channel. It's the reason why I listen to South African, Zimbabwean radio stations. I just enjoy seeing my people on TV. So I love that. I'm a big fan of Kanye Bao. Been a fan of her since Bitch Please. I don't know if I could cuss. You might need to bleep that out. Since the days of Bitch Please, I'm Kanye Bao. I've been a fan of her since. So I feel like she's just a star. She's a walking, talking magnet. The drama to me, as a fan of reality TV, I felt like they could have gave us a little bit more. Could be because of season 1, and they might be season 2 and season 3. But watching Real Housewives of Jersey, Atlanta, all of that, even in the earlier seasons, even when the wigs and the makeup weren't quite right in the earlier seasons, the drama was there. So I'm hoping that season 2, we get some like some real drama. I don't want y'all arguing on a train, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know there's more. What's tea, you know?
I know exactly what you mean. I was entertained. Like I was like, this is a beautiful hot mess.
Yeah.
Mess. I mean, this is before the Americans started dragging about the wigs. I was like,
Boy, it's an area of opportunity. Okay, we've all been there. Okay, it has happened to the best of us. And someone actually said it was intentional. I'd love to know if that's true. I don't know. Someone was like, but there's an area of opportunity. Do they have the money? Do they have the wealth? Do they have the potential to fully entertain? Because just the drama between, remember Kudzi and Kanye, how they had us on a chokehold? Like, what is it? Was it last month?
Dubai. Yeah.
The Dubai. I wanted to see that. I wanted to see it play out. I didn't finish it. I think I got up to like episode 5 or 6. Did you watch the whole thing?
Yes, you have to. No, you have to watch the whole thing.
Okay. All right. It gets better.
It gets better and it leaves us in a cliff. Oh my God. I was going to spoil it. Oh my God.
Okay. So I'll watch the whole thing.
You have to watch the whole thing. So I thought, like you, I'm a late fan of Kanye. Like I knew of her, but didn't really know her work. But I was like, she gives the people what they want. Like she knows.
Yeah.
Like, okay. I was like, okay, so I get you. And then there was Annie with two face, whatever his name. Apparently his real name is Innocent.
And he is far from innocent. His mama had a sense of humor, child. Listen. She said the 5th baby was her first. Yeah, that's heartbreaking. I really hope that he's changed his ways because nobody deserves that.
I hope so too. But rumor has it that he's had more kids. But no. Please watch it till the end.
Okay, I'll watch just for you this weekend. I'll set some time I will watch it because I stopped at the train scene. I was like,
oh yeah, it was a bit intense. Like the train scene was a bit like
times, but like I'm used to shaking the table. I'm used to, and you can't compare, and I get that, but as a fan, a student of reality TV, it's got to be more compelling than like, to me, it felt like a little contrived. I want to see the real because we know the real, right? Like we know what really goes on. And Annie did a good job of really laying it out on the table. Child, I wouldn't have told none of my secrets. I wouldn't have said nothing. I would have been like, oh, he got kids?
It's like, I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, this is news to me. Who told
you? Yeah. No, I think that's why people loved her because I think they could tell she was authentic. She was just being real. Not calculating at all, I think, anyway. But talking about we're talking about the first season, areas of opportunities, wigs, beautiful gowns, and all that sort of stuff. It kind of made me think of the Braxtons season 1. Do you remember like when they started? They had, the wig issues were a bit and so I thought that was funny. And obviously we saw like, as the seasons went by, the edges were laid, the wigs, like everything was going on. I remember you once had an interview with the sisters and you were just talking to them about South Africa, Zim, and they were like, what? They were so excited. So I just kind of wanted to just get your thoughts because we know we've lost Tracy Braxton, who was one of my favorite. But just get your thoughts on Tracy and also how it was like, sort of like interacting with them when you had the interview.
Every time I chat with the Braxtons, it was honestly one of my best interviews. Every time I chat with either it's Tamar or it's Trina and Tawanda and Tracy, like every time I sat down with them, it's always been memorable. But that was one of my very first interviews when I was first starting out. And they gave me like 15 minutes with them. I interviewed the whole cast. Tony was the only one who wasn't there. And they were so warm and so kind. I remember when I walked in, I had on like kind of like a cocktail dress. It was pink and it was like one shoulder. If you go on YouTube, you can search for it. And Tamar was like, not you trying to show me up. Look at you, what you wearing? But like, that's how she kind of set the vibe. And immediately it just became a girl fest. It became a fun conversation. And still to this day, people watch it and they comment and they're always like, this was a really, really fun interview. And I think because I was working for myself, there were no restraints. There was no question I couldn't ask. I just went in there and I was just myself. And we just, sometimes with celebrities, you just kind of gel in that way. And we really, really, really connected. But listen, I'll even say when you're first starting out, like when I look at some of my older videos, the hair wasn't quite right, the makeup isn't quite right. So there is a glow up that happens in this process, and it happens to all of us. But yeah, it was so sad about Tracy. That was shocking, wasn't it? Like, I didn't even know that she was sick.
No, I didn't. I was like, I loved the Braxton sisters. Like, I was so invested, like to the point that I actually disliked Tamar because I felt like, she was horrible to the other sisters. So, and just seeing Tracy in like is it in or on? See, like,
say WhatsApp group. I know what you mean.
In the show, like, because they started calling her, like, at first, like, they labeled her the wannabe, right? Like, and you could tell that, because she had a child early, she didn't really get to experience the glitz and the glam like her sisters, like especially like Tony and Tamar. You can tell, like, they were very like dipped in LA, like proper.
Yes.
And you could tell that Tracy's life was one of, just not struggle, but feeling like there was something missing. But what kind of gave me comfort was, like, when I was looking at her page and stuff, I was like, oh, there's a reason why Tracy had like the strongest marriage, like
True.
She had the family, because maybe God knew that she had a shorter time on this earth. She had her son had a child, and I was just like, you know what? Rest in peace, Tracy.
Yeah, you did your thing. You left your mark. I hope she knows how much she was loved. I think sometimes with celebrities, you get a lot of hate. And Tracy went through her fair share of stuff. Sometimes when you almost feel like a dream has escaped you and you see your sisters flourishing, and maybe that's why they called her the wannabe. But I hope she knows, or she knew, how much people loved her. And way to be like private. Celebrities tell us everything on social media, but she kept this close to her heart as a public figure. I think she really thought that she was gonna survive and go through it. And so my heart breaks for her family. I'm like, oh man, but what a beautiful legacy.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, no, so there's no good way to kind of segue from that.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. So we started sort of talking about hot topics and everything, but then just wanted to kind of take a step back. For some people that know Makho now, right? And are not familiar with your journey, or for some reason, I don't know where you guys have been. If you're just like, oh, I'm just meeting Makho, who is she? And I know you probably talked about your journey so many times, but if you could indulge us,
of course,
again. So, because I'm a fan, I feel like I'm about to like tell the story.
Preempt me. Let me know, where should I start? Because I could take it all the way back, or we can take it back a little bit. So
okay, so just the starting, because I know you've mentioned that you moved to America when you were 9. Moved to New York when you're 9 from Bulawayo. I guess I just kind of wanted to sort of find out, how was the early years in Bulawayo, like, where did you go to school? Do you remember anything? And how was it moving at such a young age to the States?
Oh, I had such positive memories of growing up in Bulawayo. I was an only child for a number of years. So it was my mom and I, and we had this big house, and then she moved into an apartment. And then when she went to the States, this was like, I think I was like 7 or 8. I stayed with my grandparents, and I stayed in Paternoster. And those were some amazing years. We wake up, have breakfast with my grandparents. My grandfather would drive me into school. I went to town at Xolie, which isn't too far from Paternoster, so it would take us a few minutes. And I remember going to school and how much fun I had, dressing up in my uniform, being a brownie. Like, those were some great times, walking home after school. And it just was a really memorable experience. I wish I would have appreciated it more, but I think, you're like 7, 8, or 9. So it's just like you're living life. And I remember on the weekends, we used to have so much fun. My cousins would come over from a very large family. So they'd come over and we'd have sleepovers and we'd watch movies, and we would, people would cook because we were too young to be in the kitchen. And it just was an amazing, amazing time. Even like the holidays, I remember dancing to Brenda Fassi in our living room, and just, I had a really wonderful, wonderful childhood.
That's good. So when you left, did you understand that, I'm leaving home?
Yeah.
Okay. I
Yeah.
asked because I left Zim when I was 17, and I really
Wow.
didn't understand. Like I didn't realize that I wouldn't be back home for 20 plus years. Like,
My goodness.
I don't know what I thought. I thought I'm
Yeah.
going and I'll come back. like, so I'm just wondering, like at 9, did you get that? Okay, I'm going to a new place, starting a new life.
Oh, absolutely. So because my mom was already in New York, I knew that I was moving to be reunited with my mom. As sad as I was to leave my grandparents, I knew that, I was going to be with my mom. But they did a really good job of prepping me, Nat, even down to the simple things like, they were like, okay, this is how you use a fork and a knife, because now you're going to America, you're going to need to learn how to use a fork and a knife. But little did they know that we were moving to do or die Bed-Stuy, baby. We were, okay, all right, in Brooklyn. And mom did and still to this day, did a really good job of like maintaining us speaking our language, cooking the food. It really felt like, even though I was in America, in my home environment, it still very much felt like Zimbabwe. So yeah, I knew that this is my new life and get ready for it. I was not ready for what I found in Brooklyn. It was the 90s. People didn't have this view of Wakanda forever. It wasn't like, oh, whiz kid and all of this. Being African was very much looked down on. People made fun of me, called me all types of African booty scratches. Remember, I went to elementary school and I was listening to these kids talk and I was like, why do they talk so fast? Are they speaking another language? Like, there was a huge cultural barrier from elementary school to junior high school. And I think finally in high school, there was a shift that started to occur as I grew up and got kind of confident in my own self and who I was becoming. That's when I started saying, okay, y'all are tripping. Okay, being Zimbabwean is fly and I'm going to own it and fully step into it.
No, that's good, because that's what I was going to ask. Like,
yeah.
Did you sort of like when you arrived and you're so young, did you kind of hide who you were and be like,
no,
I'm not from Zimbabwe, like I am, and want to just like assimilate in a way that it was just like you were local? You never felt that pressure?
Oh, initially when I arrived, I was super excited to be here. I didn't feel any type of pressure. I was myself. Fully, I stepped into that place knowing who I was, coming from Krugland, coming from a strong background with my grandparents and my mom being there. Now, after a few months, years, I definitely felt the pressure. I remember one moment, I guess they call it a core memory now, is I remember I came home one day and I said, I got to change this accent. These kids are teasing me so much. They're making fun of me. I got to figure out a way to assimilate and really fit in. So I really started changing the way that I talked and listening more to where I talked. And now I kind of still have that New York accent, but it's not as strong as it was maybe when I was like 11 or 12 or 13, So there definitely was that pressure. Kids can be mean. Like, I like them, but like high school, middle school, elementary school, oh, they could be nasty.
Yeah. And are you still friends with some of the people like from back then?
Some. I have like one or two high school friends and I have a few college friends. But the thing about me is my circle of friends is really, really small because I find that people are complicated, people are difficult, people stress me out. So I really know a lot of people, but my friends, I probably have maybe five or six really, really close friends. And some of them do include people that I went to high school and college with.
Yeah. No, that is a good number of friends to have.
People are stressful. I love them when people are stressful.
Exactly. Okay, so let's fast forward to Makho media personality, right?
Yeah.
So how did that happen? I know you've talked about working at Sony, being a project manager. Was that your first job in corporate? Like if you could sort of tell me sort of after college or sort of what was the corporate experience, and then how did you move away from that?
Right, right. So I went to college in Michigan and I didn't study media. I felt like I wanted to do something in the media space or in entertainment space, but I really didn't know what I wanted to do. So I moved to New York, right? We had moved out of New York in my high school years, went to Indiana. That's how I went to school in Michigan. If you're not familiar, they're just neighbors, they're close. It's like, I guess Harare and Bulawayo, think about it in that context. I just went to the next city over, next state over in this instance. So anyway, I decided I wanted to move to New York. And I remember the first job I had in New York, I worked at a store. So I was selling candles, I was selling linen. And then somebody that I actually went to college with was like, hey, they're hiring at Sony. You would be really good at this job. So that's how I got that job. But I learned a lot in corporate. It wasn't for me. I don't know how to play those games. I don't know how to put on, you know, and just really put on and try to pretend to be somebody that I'm not. I'm as authentic as they come and I say what's on my mind. Of course I have a filter, but it wasn't for me. So I tried my best to get out of it. And another friend who I met at Sony was like, hey, I think you should try out for this competition. I think you'd be really good for it. I think you'd be good on camera work. Well, I tried it, ended up winning that competition where I think there were like 5,000 people in the competition. And it was Russell Simmons' next great celebrity video correspondent gig. And I think that's what really was the defining thing. Winning that, I was like, oh, wait. Other people see that I could do this? Okay, I'm gonna go for it. And that's when I made the conscious decision to go for it.
Yeah. Okay. So so I remember those days because I remember you posting it on Facebook because I've been stalking you for 10 plus years, I think. And so did you sort of like quit your job and then just like, how did you get your first gig sort of doing the media stuff? Like how
yeah,
because I think that's a question that a lot of people may have, right? Who may have the same dreams. It's kind of like, okay, yeah, I want to do this stuff, but how do I convert it to me actually paying these bills? Right?
Okay. Because that's a whole nother separate conversation about paying the bills. The money was low, the money was dry, there was no money coming in. I think, how did I get started? How did I, you know, I think to answer your question, I got laid off, which in another word is they fired me. They were like, listen, we are done with you. You got to leave this job and this isn't going to work. And I think that was the universe helping me out, right? Is when you are in a position where it's not working, universe, God, they all kind of converge and they're like, okay, so she's not making the moves that she needs to do. We're going to make the moves for her. And you think about that in every sense of your life, whether it's a job or it's a relationship. If you don't make the move, the things are going to move. The pots are going to do what they need to do. So essentially I got laid off. And in that moment, I had to be like, okay, we're really going to go for this. And I think when you are stuck in a place and you want to make a transition, there is no magic rule. There is no magic solution. The key is to do the work. So we met when I was posting on Facebook, when I had my blog post, right? I was still working my corporate job, but I was doing the work. So I was invested in what was going on the continent. I was invested in what was going on in terms of celebrities here in the United States. I was still trying to figure out exactly where I wanted to be. So when you think about making those moves in your life and in your career, doesn't matter where you're at, how old you are, start planting the little seeds. Start kind of thinking about the work that you can do each and every single day, an hour a day, to sow into that dream that you really want to see come to fruition. Now, for me, I say it took me about 10 years to really achieve success. And when I say success, I mean that financially, number one, okay? Took me a long time to make any type of money, but feeling like I'm content, feeling like I've arrived. So it's success in every sense of the word. But yes, the finances were very, very hard to come through. And I'm grateful that I had a support system of my family. I'm grateful to have a support system of my husband. He was very instrumental in saying, listen, I know that this may not be going the way that you wanted to, but keep doing the work. Just keep pushing and you will eventually get to where you need to be. And of course, I'm grateful that his words were true, but a lot of people don't have that. But don't let that deter you, because you can still put in the work, whatever it is that you want to do, an hour each day, and you will reach that level of success.
Yes, that is so amazing. And you know what? I'm gonna fill in the gaps because Makho is humble, right? So I remember your blog days, right? And I think
Yeah.
you were one of the I want to say the first person that I followed, like in terms of just in terms of putting Southern Africa on the map, because I liked what you used to do, right? Because
Mhm.
you had your blog, and at the time,
Yeah.
you know, it was, you know, we had like the YBF, Young Black
Mhm.
Fabulous, and Gossip and all that sort of stuff, right? So what I remember is like you would post like topical things, right?
Yeah.
So you'd post topical things, and then you'd also post like when like your Braxton interview and stuff like that. And then the genius thing that I always thought was genius, you would include Southern African things. So like the one post is about the Braxtons, and then the next you're interviewing Oliver Mtukudzi, Times Square,
Right.
New York, right? No,
Yeah.
and I think that was so important because it put Southern African sort of stuff at par, and because a lot of African content is mostly West African, sort of like the music,
Yeah.
fashion, we never really get Southern Africa. So that was really, I think it's really important. Like if ever, years from now, we're sort of like doing a history of, Southern Africans in the diaspora, and how we've made strides and stuff like that, you've you've been part of that work. So I always thought, oh my God,
Oh.
that was genius. And the fact that you were like, my name is Makho Ndlovu, you
Yeah.
never at any point were like, call me MK or
Yeah. I had people tell me that. There was a really close friend of mine to this day who told me, listen, I would cut off the Ndlovu part. Just go by Makho. A lot of celebrities do it, and people will be able to say your name better. And I was like, absolutely not. Part of my brand is who I am. And the reason I think why it resonated with so many people, first of all, thank you for saying that. I appreciate that. I never thought of myself in that way and in that light, in that light, is because it was authentic to who I am. I love all things from back home, and I also love American culture. It is, when you think about where I'm from and where I'm at right now, it's the perfect summation of who I am. I don't think any of us are just linear where we only consume American content or we only consume Nigerian content. The world is so much bigger than that, and we're so much more diverse. So it was like, I'm going to post about the things that I like, and hopefully they will be an audience that resonates with it. And then it was tricky trying to figure out what that line was, right? Because things were topical, and I was talking about what was happening at that moment. But then it was like, do I want to be catty? Do I want to, kind of critique people? Do I want to make it positive? And I thought about, where I wanted my career to go, even though I didn't know exactly what it is, where I would land up. I was like, I don't want to be the catty blogger, because you're going to bump into these people, especially back home. It's not like here in America where you can sit behind a keyboard and you talk your smack and you never going to bump into this person. You're going to go to the club, and that person that you saw and that you talk smack about is going to come up to you and be like, so Nat, I heard what you said on your podcast, and I heard you were talking all this smack. Well, Tina, what you going to do about it now?
Exactly.
That's not, that wasn't my line. So it was very much about like showing our continent, our people in a very positive light.
Yeah, no, and I enjoyed that, and I've just enjoyed sort of seeing you grow. So tell me about the well, I was gonna say, like, so tell me about like the Wendy show. Like, did you
Yeah.
consider that to be the gig that was sort of like the biggest one that you got?
I would say actually before that. So
Yeah.
Amazon is actually the longest gig that I've had, and honestly the most life-changing. What was special about Amazon was all the producers that work on the show have worked at other shows in the industry, meaning there's a producer from Wendy's, there's a producer from the Today Show, there's a producer from Nick. Like any talk show that you've seen in the United States, there's a producer from Amazon who's worked on that show. And once they saw me on Amazon, they're like, wait, everybody who works at Amazon does the Wendy show. Why don't you do the Wendy show? And I was like, I don't know. I've been following Wendy for a long time, from when Whitney called her from the balcony in Miami. And they got into that. Like, I've been a Wendy fan, so I was a little intimidated. I was like, I don't know. But they were like, my friend Lauren, she was like, you can do it. You can do it. Go there and do your thing. And she just passed my information along. And the producer called me up and they were like, okay, can you come in on Monday? And I want to say it's been 2 years. I don't think it's 3, but I've been at Wendy now for 2 years. Every single gig that I've gotten has been, I don't have a manager. I don't have an agent. One day I hope I do, but it's all been from recommendations, people saying, hey, I think she can do this. Or you're looking for somebody. I think this person is great. So I'm very, very lucky that people think of me in that way.
That is amazing. So I want to know, obviously, if there's anything you sort of can't say because of work, fine.
Yeah.
But like, how, how's Wendy like? I love her, but like, how is she?
What you see is what you get. Wendy is the queen, okay? When you pull up to her studios, first of all, there's Wendy posters. There's 2 sides of the studio, the actual studio where they film, and then the offices, which is like half a block. Like when you see what Wendy has been able to achieve, I mean, it's just like, you gotta give respect and props to the queen. But she's really funny. She's very witty. She's like, she is exactly what you think she is, right? She says what's on her mind. She's no filter. And, I wish that we would have had a way to close out the season with her being there. But Sherry, I've met Sherry, and Sherry's going to take over in the fall. And Sherry is amazing. So sweet. We're in hair and makeup, and she's asking me about my life. Where do you live? We talking about washing machines. She was like, yeah, girl, get this brand, da, 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 da. Like, she's regular people, and all the other guest hosts have been amazing as well. So I'm grateful that I had the opportunity to work with Wendy, and I also wish her well as well.
No, I wish her well. That is amazing. So, okay, let me get into it. The Sherry Shepherd part, right?
Yeah.
Love Sherry Shepherd. And I'm going to share this with you. And if ever you feel like you can share it with her, please do.
Yeah.
So I loved Sherry Shepherd from when she was on The View, right? I just loved her bubbly personality. And there's something that Sherry Shepherd has said that I have kept for life, right? She's always said, like, when you meet people, and when you smile at someone, right? She said, make sure you hold the smile for like 3 seconds longer. So even when the person turns away, like hold the smile.
Wow.
And because sometimes when people turn, they always look back. Like, think about the number of times you've like turned away and then you look back and then you see the person now frowning and you're thinking, flipping out. So that smile wasn't real. I don't know, but it's been a life hack that I have used.
Wow.
And I always remember that. I always hold my smile 3 seconds longer.
Wow. I'll definitely let her know. I think I'm back in a week or so. Yeah. And she is just, I'm telling you, the sweetest. She's probably going to get such a huge kick out of that. I'll definitely let her know that. No, that's so sweet. That's a good tip.
It makes such a difference because it makes you, I mean, I consider myself to be warm and friendly, but you physically become it. And people can feel that energy. Right.
Yeah. And you are, Nat. I mean, you are so warm, so kind. And listen, I think we've talked about this already, how we've never met in person. We've only interacted online, but that warmth comes through, and so passing on that message about how for other people, how to maintain it and how to come across as warm as well is great. I did not know that trick at all.
Hey guys, so I've got a little something for you. So this episode of Gellen's Guys is brought to you by Manscaped. So Manscaped is the best in grooming products. They sell a wide range of grooming products. So you can use our promo code GISPOD to get 20% off anything that you buy from Manscaped. So I know in the past we've talked about how, at times it can be difficult to get really, nice, interesting gifts for the men in our lives. And sometimes the men complain that, we get them the same kind of stuff, right? So actually you can go on Manscaped and, be inspired to get something different. So I'm just going to show you. So if you're watching, you'll see. If you're listening, you'll just have to imagine it, right? So here they sent us this performance package, which has some hygiene products, right, that you can buy. So there's boxer short, and then there's what they call the lawnmower. You can imagine what that does. And there is a crop reviver, which is like a spray that apparently, so it's a crop reviver refreshing ball toner. So yeah. And then there is a deodorant that, you spray below the waist because we know some people need that. And toiletry, and they actually have a weed whacker. I'll be honest, I've actually tried this. It's really good. You can use that for your nose hairs or for your ear hair, right? So you can hear the sound. So that's manscaped.com, and you can use the promo code GISPod to get 20% off. So yeah, let's get to the pod.
I think I'll put that in her Instagram comments before, but I know she's probably never read it. Or you
never know.
But I would love her to know that. Like it has helped me. Okay, so Suzanne, Norman,
yes,
what do they like?
A kiki and a hoot, exactly how you think they are. It's funny because I refer to them as their Instagram handle. So Wendy's art director, the one who does the set, his TV, Michael Lee, and his name is Michael Lee, but I call him TV's Michael Lee. And then Norman, he comes in to makeup after I'm done getting my makeup. And by the way, the woman, my sister, my girl who does my makeup at Wendy, Nani, oh my God, I love her. She's probably like my top favorite makeup artist of all time. She just beats my face and she makes it look so good. I freaking love Nani. So Norman comes in after I get my makeup, like 10 minutes before the show. He's always such a breath of fresh air. He's so kind. He's so sweet. I'm always telling him like, Norman, you got a lot of fans in Southern Africa. He's like, for real? I'm like, yes, we're going to need to go one day. He's like, make it happen. Let me know. And Suzanne is awesome. And her husband, Brendan, they also come in the makeup room and they're like, Makho, you good? You all right? It's just the staff at Wendy, man, they're awesome. They're really nice people, real salt of the earth people, just down to earth,
That's amazing. And the Today Show, how's
oh, my queen. Oh, Nat, I love Hoda. From the first time I was there, Hoda and Savannah have shown me so much love. You're intimidated. Today's show is watched by millions. Everybody pretty much in America watches the Today Show. That's how we get our day started. So the idea of not only being on live television, being with Hoda and Savannah, my heart was beating out of my chest so fast. But they were so kind and so warm to me that they made it so easy. So that by the time I was invited back, they're like, so you're with us now, right? Like you work for today and shop today. I was like, yeah, I do. They were like, yes.
That's amazing.
Like, you can't beat that. You can't beat that at all.
That is so amazing. Oh my God, you are living my life.
Thank you.
So I know you do all these like wonderful things, but I know you also like you used to do like your moments with Makho,
yes,
YouTube and sort of stuff. And I know I was listening to an interview that you did previously where you're talking about, thinking about how you own your content, right? So how do you I guess maybe in parallel to the gigs that you're doing, sort of like just, continue building your digital sort of trail, digital fingerprint, what's that looking like? And are there enough hours in the day?
And that's quite honestly the problem. I loved, especially at the height of the pandemic, doing moments with Makho and connecting with people online and just having fun and finding a different outlet and a different way to showcase my personality. But honestly, I've been so busy in the past 5 months, I haven't had a chance to really sit down and plot. But I think the next phase is my life is all about pivoting, connecting the dots, if it makes sense, is that I still want to do moments with Makho, but I want to do it in a different way. I'm passionate about working with different types of products and different types of people and working with different types of brands. How do I bring all of those worlds together, but yet create opportunity for other people as well? So what I'm trying to get to is it's nice to work for all these companies, but these things, shows end. It could be the highest rated show one day or 1 year, and then the next year it could be completely, not be on the air anymore. So my goal really is to create my own lane in this space with what I'm doing and really own my content and monetize it. How it's going to look and how it's going to play out, I don't know yet. I don't have the answers yet, but that's something that I'm working towards.
No, and we'll be supporting you. We'll be supporting you. Yeah. So we're gonna wind down because I know I've had a lot of your time.
No,
Um,
it's fine. It's fine. It's only like 3 o'clock here, so it's fine.
that's all right. I just want to say congratulations because I know you shared that you have moved to. Wait a minute. Let me try and get this right. Wait. But the developer in me is struggling.
Go for it. Let's hear it in the developed way, and then we'll hear it in the other way.
Connecticut. Oh,
yes, Nat, we'll go with that. Yeah, yes.
Is it Connecticut?
Connecticut.
Ah, yes. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How's that been?
It's been amazing. You know, I've been very honest with the fact that, you know, I was collecting unemployment from the time where I got laid off to finding, you know, my first real paying gig. There was some rough times. So it feels amazing to see my journey from that snapshot to where my husband and I were able to come together and say, listen, it's now for a new phase, a new journey in our lives. Let's buy a home in Connecticut. And the fact that we saved and planned and actually did it, I tell you, it's the best feeling ever. I love having all of this space. We have 5 bedrooms. We've got multiple bathrooms. And I'm not saying all this to brag. I'm saying that we came from a very small apartment in New York City. If you know anything about New York, we were paying a whole lot, right, in terms of price, but the space was very, very small. So I'm very lucky to have a place that is like my refuge, my oasis. I have so much space in my house, and my husband works from home and he has his own space, but just something that like we own as a couple together, it's the best feeling.
Oh man, that is so amazing. Like when you posted that, I was like, oh my God. So what's the commute like from to New York? How long?
It's an hour and 20 minutes from Connecticut or to get to Brooklyn or to get to the city where the studios are. Yeah. But Nat, I'm so spoiled. I'm so lucky. I don't know how this happened, but the shows actually send a car for me. So I don't have to drive. So like this morning, I woke up at 5 o'clock. The driver was here at 5:45. By 7:20, I was in the city. Yeah. I wrapped my show around 8:50. I was back home around 10 o'clock. So I'm very, very fortunate that I have a driver who picks me up. Because I was thinking today, I was like, man, if I had to drive to and fro every work, I don't know if I would do it. But a lot of people do it, right? Drive about an hour. That's normal.
Yeah. Okay. So it's not too bad. Not too bad. But I mean, better if you've got a driver, right? Because you can do work, you can answer emails, you can do that sort of stuff. Okay. So and just another sort of question. What season is it now in Connecticut? Is it winter?
It is spring. And we're going from spring, and we're still experiencing like cold weather, right? Yeah. So it was like kind of cold this weekend, but we're going into summer in a few months. But it's wonderful. Like the trees, we have the cherry blossoms, they're starting to bloom. It looks really green. It's pretty. We have a little outdoor patio area. So sometimes we go outside and just kind of enjoy. But I'm really excited about summer. I mean, do married people have hot girl summer? Because I'm having a hot girl summer.
You better have a hot girl summer.
Okay.
Man, right, girl, what?
Very good, because I plan on doing it. Listen, my birthday is coming up. I'm not sure when this is going to drop, but my birthday is coming up on April 14th. And it's funny, Nat, because this is the big 4-0. Like in my mind, I still feel like I am 28 years old. I still, except when I drink red wine and I wake up the next morning, I don't feel that way. But in my mind, I still feel so young and vibrant. And I think 40 is young and vibrant. And so as people are listening to this, I think there's been this misconception that, once you're in your 30s, your mid 30s, you can't pivot, you can't do other things, but that is a lie. You can still pivot. You're still breathing. You still have goals. You still have things you want to achieve. Yeah. So go ahead and do that. But it feels really good. Like I feel really, I'm content. I'm happy.
That's amazing. That is amazing. What are the plans? What are you doing for your birthday?
Well, there's a big birthday trip coming up. Woo! We're going to go to I'm taking a few friends, those 5 friends I talked about. Yeah, I said, Ben, let's go to Jamaica. We just gonna chill. We all work so hard. I want it to be a vacation, not just for myself, but also for my friends as well. My family. We're just gonna lay back, get pampered, eat some nice oxtail, some nice curry, all of that, all the things.
That's amazing. Oh, I hope you're going to post the pictures. I cannot.
I will. We're going to go in May. So we're not going to actually go the month of my birthday because of work, but we're going to go the first week of May. I can't wait.
That is amazing. So talk about oxtail. Just a few questions just to round off, just a little bit.
Yeah. I'm here. Whatever you need.
What's your favorite food from home? Like, do you eat oxtail, manina?
Girl, this weekend, my friend Alan, one of my closest friends, came over to visit us, and my husband cooked. Well, I helped him cook too. We cooked impita leñama. Let's try that. Oh, that hit the spot. Oh. That is one of my favorite meals from home. But I also love rice, my 7 colors, the beets, the coleslaw, all mix that all together. But nothing tops istrana, no impita leñama. You just can't. You can't go wrong.
Absolutely. And then mazoe. What flavor? Choose a flavor, orange or cream soda.
I don't even think I've had the cream soda. I think I've only had the orange. Yeah.
No.
Really?
No, but you lived in Indiana. I thought there was loads of Zim people like over there, no?
No, those people didn't like me. I'm just kidding. They clearly weren't sharing their cream soda. No, I didn't. Honestly, I did not know that there was a cream soda. I only know the orange one. Okay, so next time I'm in Zim, I'll definitely have to try that. Which one do you like between orange and cream soda?
I like the cream soda. I like
okay.
The orange makes me feel patriotic when I drink it.
Yes!
It's like the main flavor.
Correct.
Okay. So if you could have lunch with one person, one person only, would it choose one? Will Smith or Chris Rock?
Wow. I think I want to have lunch with Will.
Yeah.
We might have to stand a few feet apart because I don't know what my brother's going to do. But I want to know what he was thinking that day. Honestly, what was really going on if we have no cameras, no nothing? I'm just curious. Did you just snap? Because I felt like he had time to think about it.
Yeah.
You walked up on that stage, you paused for a second, and then you went,
Exactly. So Will Smith it is. Makho, thank you so much. I thoroughly enjoyed this. It's everything I hoped it would be and more. Absolutely. I love you.
I love you too, Nat. And thank you so much for having me on. And I wasn't kidding when I said, what a wonderful soul you are. I love following you on social media. I'm here for Hot Girl Nat being out in these streets looking for a date, okay? Bringing the community together in such a beautiful, fun way. I love when you do that. I love when you fell asleep on Spaces, but we're not going to bring that up. But you see, that's why we love you. You're like our homegirl. You're like our sister. I love seeing you on vacation. I just love you. So keep doing what you're doing. If I can ever support or help in any way, just know that I'm here. And when you come to New York, we're hanging and you're going to come to connect. How do you say Connecticut?
Connecticut.
Listen,
I'm going to hold you. I'm holding
Come on.
Because I want to hang out.
Let's do it.
Yeah, but Makho, absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you for being you. Thank you for flying the flag. Thank you for never shying away, from your roots, from where you are, because it helps us to, feel confident to be ourselves. And, so happy for you. Happy birthday in advance.
Thank you.
Wishing you all the good things and, giving you all the flowers.
Thank you, Queen. Thank you. And thank you for this wonderful platform. I can't wait till Xolie gets back with that beautiful baby.
Yeah.
But thank you for holding it down while she's gone.
No, thank you so much. And bye, guys. Make sure you follow Makho, send her some comments and just tell her just how proud of her we are. So thank you, guys. Bye.